Hi, I'm Stevie Ferdinand.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. We're happy to see you with us once again for this week's Explore Tulsa.
Christmas has always been one of my favorite holidays, Trish, but I have a buddy who takes Christmas decorating to all new heights.
Oh, you must be talking about Ben Sumner's from Kringle's Christmas Land.
His vintage animated Christmas characters make my front yard blow up Santa look pretty wee.
Well, luckily for us, Ben shares his holiday spirit each and every year at Tulsa's Promenade Mall.
When I was 8 years old, my neighbor, John Robertson, who, if you are a big Christmas light fan, will remember he had the display off Gary with the pond and the Christmas lights. And he had a animated mechanical Santa in his window. And I was 8 years old, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I want that Santa. I have to have one of those Santas. Well, thankfully, with the Tulsa Flea Market at the time, there happened to be one show up. It wasn't exactly the way his looked, but I was happy with it. So my dad got me that for Christmas, and ever since then, I had to have them. They're all made in New York City from a company called David Hamburger and Harold Gale, and they're all hand painted. So they're really pretty much a work of art. When you look at the eyes and the facial expressions and stuff, I mean, it's cool to think that somebody 30, 40 years ago painted each one of those. They're just magical. I like to think that they're special, and when you look at them, it just really puts you in the Christmas spirit, because it takes you back to, you know, of course I wasn't alive in the 50s or 60s or 70s even, when they had window displays in the department stores. But that's really what I like looking at when you watch A Christmas Carol, or when you watch Miracle on 34th Street. You know, you see the window displays, and you know, we don't have that here. So I wanted to bring that here. You don't have to hop on a plane to go to New York City to see Macy's. You can see it right here in Tulsa Promenade Mall. The cool thing about A Christmas Story, at the very beginning, when the movie starts off, you actually see the Santa that we have in our window right over here with the list. It's the same piece that's in the movie with the elves. It looks really cool, and you know, seeing that, it's cool that I have a piece of history right here. But you know, seeing kids walk by, a lot of the kids that come through here have never experienced this, because there's really nothing like it else around here in Oklahoma. So, you know, it's different, because you know, it grows on them, and the smile on their face. Because I mean, how many times can you walk in somewhere and see Santa's elves in a workshop? I have collected these pieces from people that have retired from furniture stores, from big-time department stores that have closed down. So it's been a lot of searching and finding these and calling people. And I mean, I have traveled probably 10,000 miles back and forth all over the United States picking these up myself. I had so many of these, and I didn't have a place to display them, and I wanted to do it for my neighborhood. So in my garage, we put plexiglass up. So that way there was an area big enough for us to do a display, and it was kind of like this one, but a lot smaller, obviously. And I started getting a lot of draw and a lot of people saying, we wish there was more. So that's why we're here. I wanted to make sure it was a life-size storybook. So when you walk in, you have Mrs. Claus and Santa talk, and they tell you the story, and you walk through and you get to see it other than just hearing it. So that was really big with me. Christmas is huge to me, and especially keeping Christ in Christmas. That's always been a big thing for me, and that's why at the very end of our story, you know, this is all great. You hear, you know, Santa's workshop and you get to see Christmas Town, but ultimately the most important part to me is the nativity scene, because we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have Christmas without Christ. So it's very important to me that we end with that, because that's the most important Christmas story there is. And it snows on you when you walk through, because we might not get snow here in Oklahoma. It depends on what Travis says, right? But you know, if the weather's permitting. But the cool thing here, the weatherman always says there's a 100% chance of snow. So Santa likes it here.